Hello and welcome to today's lab. This lab will focus on how to use the George Mason Library website to access scholarly sources. Remember that you are required to cite at least 6 scholarly sources in your research paper. Also remember that a source is scholarly if it is peer-reviewed and or if it's published by an academic press. So the information in this lab will be very helpful for your research paper assignment, including the proposal, the lit review and annotated bibliography, and the final paper. So let's get started. Using your internet browser, navigate to the GMU Library website, which is library.gmu.edu, and you'll notice that the landing page contains a search box with 3 tabs. You have a quick search tab, you have a books and more tab, and an articles and more tab. First, let's use the quick search function. This search function is similar to a Google search of all the library's resources across formats. So books, media, articles, etc. It's an excellent place to start if all you have are general ideas about your research. Using this search function is very intuitive. Suppose we wondered if levels of partisanship explain variation for support in environmental policy. So in the dialog box, search partisanship and environmental policy. So partisanship, and then connect the term partisanship to the phrase. We denote a phrase by quotation marks. The phrase environmental policy, and click enter. This will give us literally hundreds of results. Notice along the left of your screen you can hone your searches to include only peer-reviewed sources, 596 of them, only articles or publication information, etc., date ranges, etc. All right, so navigate back to the library homepage. Now let's try a similar search using what's called the Classic Library Catalog. The next tab over, called Books and More, is a search tool that searches the actual physical copies of books or journals that the library owns. So let's do a similar search as before. So environmental, and we're going to connect the term environmental to, this time we're going to limit it to just the United States. And we're going to connect that to the term politics. And click enter. All right, you should get about around 700 results in this search. So limit your search using the post limit button in the top right hand corner. So go ahead and click on the post limit button. And we're going to limit our search to more recent resources. So let's do all resources including and since 2005. So 2005, and then click the greater than option. And we're also going to only limit or only search for books. So click on book and then set limits. And this should limit your search to around 300 plus results, so making it a little bit more manageable. So let's sort this list again by the most recent first. So in the sort by box, drop-down list, click on publish date descending, and then all the way at the bottom, refresh the page by clicking retain selected, and that will organize your sources by date. Notice what the search summary tells us. It tells us where this resource is located. So for instance, Fenwick Stacks, Arlington Stacks. It also gives us a call number for this resource, and it tells us whether or not it is available. So checked or not checked out. You can also click on these sources for additional information. So as an example, let's click on this third source here, which is an edited volume called Can Green Sustain Growth? And we'll see additional information about this particular source. So as Professor Daigle mentioned in the lecture video, edited volumes can be very helpful in academic research because they provide a variety of authors weighing in on one topic. Additionally, when you click on this source, you can also view the table of contents with individual chapter titles along with corresponding authors. So here are the chapter titles, and then you have a list of the author or authors for each contribution. This is very useful in further narrowing your searches down to specific resources. All right, exit out of that tab. And lastly, let's choose the Articles and More tab. This gives us two options. Either searching by database, such as JSTOR or ProQuest, or subject journal title, so political science, sociology, etc. In the first box, type in JSTOR and click Submit. This will take us to a link to the JSTOR website. And JSTOR is a large database of academic journals and books with many social science resources, so very, very useful. And you'll likely have to verify your credentials here. And we're going to repeat our search from before, so typing in environmental policy in quotations as a phrase, and then connecting that to partisanship, and then connecting that still to United States as a phrase, and clicking enter. And this is going to be very similar from to the searches we just did. So we're getting about a little over 380 results here. So similar to the other search options, you can narrow your search results by choosing from the tabs near the top of the page. So you can narrow it to only journals, books, or pamphlets. Additionally, you can also sort by relevance, so the number of times these phrases appear in the resource, or from newest to oldest, oldest to newest, based on a publication date. All right, now navigate back in your browser. Now let's use the second dialog box under Articles and More and do a keyword search for journal articles that contain the phrase political science. So in your second dialog box here, just type in political science and click Submit. All right, you should get about 52 results here. And browsing these titles indicates the wide variety of journals within the discipline. For instance, you may be focusing on a region-specific issue or a topic-specific issue, and you'll be able to find journals based on area studies, for instance, African Journal of Political Science, etc. So again, this is a good way to start narrowing your searches down based on your research ideas. Now notice that each journal listing will provide links to databases where a date range of publications is available. All right, so suppose we know that we're after an article published in a specific journal. Let's browse for the American Political Science Review. So going back to Articles and More, let's type in the American Political Science Review, or APSR, and click Submit. So we can search both the keywords in journal titles or the specific journal title. So here's the American Political Science Review, and notice that several databases offer access to this journal. Importantly, however, these databases offer access to different date ranges. So suppose our article is a more recent publication. So let's choose the database that offers the most recent publications. And from this list here, we see that Cambridge Journals Online offers all publications from 2001 to present. So we'll click on Cambridge Journals Online, and it opens up a new tab. And once we're on the Cambridge Journals website, we'll do a title search. So this is assuming we're after a specific title. So let's just let's search caught in the draft. Click OK. All right, so our first result here is actually the one we're looking for. It's an article called Caught in the Draft, The Effects of Vietnam Draft Lottery Status on Political Attitudes by Robert Erickson and Laura Stoker. So go ahead and save a PDF copy of this article because Professor Daigle will make reference to this throughout the course. All right, lastly, for this course, you'll be required to use APA style, or American Psychological Association style, for all your written work. There are many resources for APA formatting, but I'll end this lab by pointing you to those made available on the Blackboard course website. So log into the Blackboard course website, and then under Courses, choose your course. And then along the left-hand column here, or menu, click on Assignments, and scroll down to the term paper. Here you'll notice two resources, a short APA-style template, and then the Online Writing Lab, or OWL website through Purdue University. The Online Writing Lab is a great resource, and it includes all kinds of topics, APA formatting questions, and also it includes two different links to videos that this Online Writing Lab has produced that shows you the nuts and bolts of APA style. All right, so remember that 20% of your final paper grade, will be derived from style and grammar, which includes your appropriate APA formatting. So this is an important issue. An A paper could become a C paper if formatting guidelines are not followed. All right, I'll see you next time.
Looking great so far, Government 300. So now we've completed the first chunk of the course on research design and developing a research question. Now we're going to move on to univariate statistical analysis. We'll talk to you soon.